Hello there. I'm going to be doing something a little bit different for the next few videos. I figured I had to make a practice makes perfect video series. So there's a lot of things within Warhammer that I actually haven't painted. I've mainly done a lot of skin and a few bits of metal here and there on some rust effects and containers and such, but I've never actually painted a Space Marine or a Space Marine helmet. So practice makes perfect. Before I start painting my Death Guard army, I want to paint a couple of basic Space Marines, Space Marine helmets, a few different colour schemes, practice some eye lenses and glows, and just generally get myself up to speed. It's not your typical ultramarine blue. I can't remember the exact blue that is ultramarine blue, but I know that ultramarines are not the colour ultramarine. But I also realise it doesn't matter, I'm just having a mess around as a basic example. So the exact colours I really don't care about, I'm just having a bit of fun, getting in some practice. And when you're doing practice, it doesn't have to be perfect. And that's the main thing to realise, it's just getting those hours in and getting the muscle memory started. So we're just using a bearing blue here as a bit of a zenithal. It really doesn't provide that much of a difference in colour, but it does look nice, and then when we put this Drakenhof nightshade on, it just darkens down all the recesses quite nicely. One thing I will say is the helmet is not my usual quality. It's got some texture on it. When I was dry brushing, I used a white paint that has gloss varnish and retarder in it that I've made specifically that I can thin down to glaze. I should have just used my Pro-Acryl, and I grabbed my Pro-Acryl after realising what I'd done, but it is what it is. So there is a bit of texture in a couple of areas on the model, but again, I figured, you know what, it's just one Space Marine head. It doesn't matter if it's got a bit of texture on it. I also haven't done any form of varnish or anything over it because I plan to strip it and keep practicing with the same head basically. I've already painted a Terminator's head in Imperial Fist, which has come out infinitely better than the Space Marine's head, so it's not too bad. I've already seen a decent jump in progress, especially with the eyes, and the Terminator's head doesn't have any weird texturing issues and stuff like that because I used the right paint to dry brush. And after the Drakenhof nightshade, all we're doing is just getting some Pro-Acryl and just whitening out the eyes, and after that I'm just coming back with the bearing blue again and just doing a little bit of light edge highlighting. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, and I'm not strictly trying to make a stark contrast between my highlighting colours. I'm just having a bit of a practice. I'm seeing how this turns out. This has been a bit of a different video to my normal. I've not sat and explained what I'm doing the whole time because you can see it on screen. And with this video I just fancied more of a general chat just to let people know what's going on and where I'm at. Project wise, I was a bit behind this week. I've had stuff going on. I figured I would crack on with one of the YouTube series that I've been planning out for a while. So one of them is the Practice Makes Perfect series, where I just pick at little things like plasma pistols, painting Space Marines, Space Marine helmets. I'm also starting to learn non-metallic metal, so there's a lot going on. I'm trying to not get too bogged down in just doing either Flesh Eater Courts or Nurgle or this or that, etc. I've got a lot of stuff which I'm going to do and I'm happy to do, so yeah, the channel will get a bit more varied in the next few months. Also, it's just nice to have a bit of a break. I've been pushing pretty hard on painting some things and it's kind of it's not burnt me out, but you know, it's on the way to burning me out. So I'm also taking a bit of a break instead of working 6 days a week and doing some more of these fun, new to me things and learning more skills, which is very important I think for painting, especially if it's something you haven't done much of. From what I know now, I would have left the eye white, lined it with a dark contrast like a Sigvald Burgundy, and then I would have just glazed on this Scale 75 FX Fleur Red Ecstasy. This was something I learned afterwards though, which I think is why my Terminator's head has come out infinitely better, because it just looks like it's more of an actual glow. I appreciate everyone for watching this. Let me know your thoughts and feedback. Do you like this kind of video where I'm not just sat telling you what I'm doing, I'm just having more of an actual conversation with you? Or do you prefer me to just talk about what I'm actually doing on the model? Thank you for your support.